That was really, really powerful. I mean, there's obviously so many things that I could touch on here about how toxic masculinity plays a role in men, and in particular, Black men who don't feel like they have the permission to show vulnerability, the permission to break down, that they need to be strong all the time for themselves, for their families. The pain and the trauma that is so large and deep down inside of him is just, begging to be released. And because he can't express himself in his real life, it's now being forced to express itself in his sleep through his subconscious. I felt his like visceral pain, and the last scene of him being held by his family, but notably by women. The women in his family was really, really powerful too.
I thought it was really powerful. This one, it's something that no one really addresses with the sexual abuse of men, and especially black men. And it shows how almost regressive people are when it comes to pain, especially emotional pain, like how they depicted in this film. And it regresses almost to a child and just wanting that comfort and just really scared. And I really, really liked it. Very powerful, very moving. And I thought they did an excellent job executing it and handling it. Overall, the camera work was really beautiful. Direction was great. Editing was really good. The actors as well, amazing. So overall, I think this one was one of my favorites.
I thought this was a really strong piece. The filmmaker does a really good job at touching at a very delicate subject. Does it with just a lot of grace, and you're 100% into it as soon as you start watching. It's just very compelling. The way it's shot, I thought was just really, really well done. And it's definitely an important subject. So it's unfortunate that it has to, but I am glad this one exists. Hopefully, it just opens up some more conversations.
This one was by far my favorite. Um, this was very real. It's an amazing script. The performances are perfect. Like, I could really feel this angst and the frustration and the fear, and I could feel myself on this nightmare and then waking up and still being in the nightmare because it's all over your face. And it was very evocative and very sad, tragic, and still somehow it was comforting. Just to see how this broken person, against his will, has to endure all this abuse, and how the filmmakers could transfer this feelings to the audience. And it's heartbreaking, but I also loved watching the support system this person has at hand, and I feel better. It was my favorite. Kudos to everyone
This
involved.
is a super powerful one. The sound design, or rather lack thereof, is really interesting, and I feel like it underlines everything. I feel like it just makes everything feel so much more powerful. It's shot beautifully. It's acted really, really well. It makes it, I feel like, whatever filter they're using in the amount of haze, or maybe it's just the lens in general, if you're just using like a vintage lens, whatever that effect was, it just really, I don't know, made it feel kind of timeless in a way, and it makes it feel very personal, and it's like a whole other world that you feel like you're kind of stepping into. So, great job to all the filmmakers involved, and the actors and the cast and crew for making it very immersive.
Sound design was very effective right from the start. That gorgeous, gentle piano music to this switch of the heavy heartbeat quality, which I felt in my chest as it was playing, really set the mood and the pace and the intensity ultimately, which was integral to the piece. The lighting, shadow play, and these dulled bright colors at the beginning where you look almost like a Norman Rockwell family at the dinner table, but there's something off. And it was a really brilliant exploration of trauma and its manifestation throughout one's life and the inability to escape that cycle. And the switch of the image of the child to the grown man receiving comfort from his mother was really, really touching and quite beautiful.
I thought this was so powerful, and there were like little things that I added to the power, like using the heartbeat and kind of silencing everything else and like really focusing on that and using that to kind of amp up the audience's heartbeat, but also kind of amp up heighten the like what was at risk and make it more and more intense. I thought that like those little details were fantastic, and then it just kind of like really showed the power of, I don't necessarily know if repression's the right word, but like obviously some form of PTSD and the strength and release that can come from crying, and how sometimes like it can be so ridiculously healing and beautiful even if it's hard, and the people that can and probably will rally around you. Like I said, I thought it was a very powerful film.
It was really quite remarkable. The storytelling, the setup was perfect, from title to our main fella being haunted at the dinner table, which should be a place of love, to at night he had the night terror and he was sleepwalking. So the stage was set, the soundscapes matched perfectly. During the night terror, his family also experienced their own version of terror, which was fitting, and they were afraid that the man that they love would become violent. Just like considering what he's been dealing with, the trauma that he's been dealing with his life, I'm not surprised. At the end, the sound in the stage is gentle as he collapses into his mother's arms and the rest of his loved ones gather, so his wife and his baby. I'm very happy if this story is based on a true story, and if this man truly has this support system in place to help with his sorrow. It's a beautiful thing.